everybody. How y'all doing? We are back for episode 2, and we are pumped up about it. The last episode, we only went over the incident report that the officer typed up while he was there. Showed you all that on the screen. Essentially, if you missed the first episode, go back and watch it, but we'll get you caught up. On June 27th, make a long story short, Steve Roberts was found dead in a pool. He had drowned. There's some really weird stuff that happened in the meantime, and that's what we're about to start getting into. So, first things first, after, something like this happens, the first thing they do is start investigating. So, we have the copies of the investigative notes. I'm not going to be able to show it to you because there's too many phone numbers and too many names on there, but I am going to read what I can to you. So it does say they got home at around 4:40 from the local bar. Steve was drunk and went to shock the pool. There was no arguing or fighting. He goes to shock the pool. She goes to bed, which we kind of already reviewed all that. It says something on here, 5 White Claws and 1 Orange Bomb. Son was in his room the entire time. It's got some more names. It says that Steve's girlfriend says she went straight to bed. Says he went to shock the pool. He went straight to shock the pool. Pool treatment was in the pool house. Can't say how much Steve had to drink. I'm assuming this is all coming from the girlfriend. Says that it's their routine. She goes to bed and he treats the pool. She says that Steve had a left shoulder injury and he gets shots every year. He has a sciatica nerve injury. She says that Steve takes heartburn pills. She says they went to her bar around noon on 6/26 to work on the bar. Says they had a great day with no argument.
But yet, the first thing she said was, he said he loved me.
Right. Well, there was busted glasses. I mean, maybe you dropped it, but there was a busted glass in the house that's in the photos, crime scene photos, and you can see that here. So you have the busted glass, and then you can see on out to the pool house where the shock was left, turned over. You can see the pool house. You can see that. Then we go on into, to finish up the investigation, we all want to know, right, what's the autopsy say? What does the autopsy say? Was she's saying he's drunk. Because that's all the investigative notes that are in here. Not saying there wasn't any more. That's just all that was provided to the family when they did get the record request. And it's literally 4 pages. And one of them's duplicates. So that's all I have. And we'll go into that in a little bit too, or in a little bit later. But fast forwarding to the autopsy. Okay, I'm just going to read the final report because it gets into, if you've ever seen an autopsy report, they're very long and very lengthy. And then when I get done with that, then Leanne will read it's called a narrative summary of circumstances surrounding the death. So she'll have that report. Then everything will start being like what's really happening. So the narrative of the information final autopsy Stephen report, Roberts was a 61-year-old man who reportedly last known alive on 6/27 in 2025 at approximately 4:45 a.m. when he returned home from a bar with his girlfriend. He was reportedly intoxicated at that time, and there was a reported physical altercation between him and his girlfriend. So, stop right there. So, in this report, it says there was a physical altercation, but in these reports, it says there was no arguing or fighting.
And I'm assuming that since this officer's notes, he wrote her name at the top, this is all coming from her on those.
Which would be the girlfriend. She says there was no arguing or fighting, but in the final autopsy report, it says again, there was a reported physical altercation between him and his girlfriend. Pool at approximately 7:30. He then went outside to shock the 7. He was found unresponsive and floating on the bottom of the pool by his stepson. It was reported to be 6 feet deep and chlorinated. Okay, so go back. This says 6 feet deep. Everything else says 5 feet deep. So another discrepancy. If it was 5 foot deep, he could have stood up, right? Because he was 5'7". If he's 6 foot deep, then that puts it over his head.
But he could swim.
He could swim. And then it's going to go back to how inebriated was he? Is that even a word?
Yeah.
So how drunk was he? We're going to get to that. So he was found unresponsive and floating on the bottom of the pool by his stepson. It was reported to be 6 feet deep and chlorinated. Emergency medical personnel were summoned, and death was pronounced on scene after he was removed from the water. His history included a past syncopal episode, hypokalemia, vertigo, and chronic alcoholism. A query of the Controlled Substance Monitoring Database revealed no prescriptions. So, this is saying, okay, well, he's been dizzy, and he's had a passing out episode before in the past, but he has chronic alcoholism. So, chances are maybe he drank every day. It doesn't really get into that, but when you see the amount of alcohol that was in his system, he had to be in pretty tolerable. The autopsy documented pulmonary edema with foam in the airways, maceration of the skin of the hands and feet, wet clothing, and personal effects, and a small amount of fluid in the sphenoid sinus, consistent with a drowning death. Minor blunt force injuries were noted, specifically contusion and laceration of the inner lips that lined up with the teeth. The ribs in the sternum were fractured, consistent with attempted cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The heart was slightly enlarged with moderate coronary artery disease and a thick left ventricle, consistent with long-standing high blood pressure. No physical injuries causative or contributory to the death were identified. Okay, so they're saying he had a busted mouth, minor blunt force injuries were noted, specifically a contusion and laceration of the inner lips that lined up with the teeth. So you can see here, viewer discretion is advised. I'm fixing to show you pictures that the daughter sent me. So if you do not want to see those, look away. So you'll see here that he has bruising in the mouth. He has a scratch at his eye, on his chin, and on his side. Toxicological testing of postmortem femoral blood detected Viagra, Cialis. There was a little bit of cocaine in his system, and a blood alcohol concentration of 0.263. Now, I wanted to know what the average amount was in a body's system to constitute whether how drunk they are. Now, we all know the legal limit's 0.08. So he was at 0.263, which is quite a bit over the legal limit. But after, doing some reading and looking into it, so a blood ethanol level equals a blood alcohol content. This indicates the amount that he had, 0.263, indicates a highly severe state of alcohol intoxication that causes profound motor impairment, emotional swings, nausea, and disorientation. It's roughly equivalent to a person consuming about 8 to 10 standard drinks in an hour, depending on their body weight. Now, someone who doesn't drink a lot, they're going to be in bad shape. So I thought, well, it says that he was a heavy drinker.
Chronic alcoholic.
Chronic alcoholism. So I put that in there. So for a standard drinker, for someone who rarely drinks, a blood alcohol level of 0.15 usually causes nausea, vomiting, and severe loss of balance. At 2.63%, they would be heavily confused, likely to pass out, and at high risk of losing consciousness or experiencing a blackout. That's just a standard drinker. Now, a heavy drinker or an alcoholic, someone with a severe alcohol use disorder or high tolerance, might not appear as visually incapacitated at this level because their brain is acclimated to alcohol. They may still be walking, talking, or appearing coherent. However, their blood alcohol content does not change. The physical and vital signs inside their body remain at a critically dangerous level. While high tolerance keeps an individual from passing out, their blood alcohol level means their vital organs are under extreme distress. So, go ahead.
And they also got there at noon. So, if that's based off of 8 to 10 standard drinks in 1 hour, we don't know how many hours he had been drinking either. So even though it sounds like a lot, you know, if he had been drinking for hours, he may not have been, you know, super wasted.
Right, but that was his level. So it would have still been his level. But he also had cocaine in there. So most of the time when people mix alcohol with cocaine, if they're super drunk, they use a little bit of cocaine, it sobers them up some. So if a test specifically measures the parent drug, cocaine, in the blood at 25 milliliters, this is considered a low to moderate level. Peak blood levels immediately after snorting or smoking can range from 100 to 1,000. His was at 25. And severe toxicity or overdose levels typically range into the thousands. But in clinical and forensic toxicology, that amounts nearly is generally considered moderate. It's well above standard detection thresholds, but falls on the lower to middle ends. So essentially, he had cocaine in his system, but it was on the lower side, which means he had done it at some point, but it wasn't very high in his system or anything like that.
He wasn't zooted.
Right. So, with that being said, the rest of the stuff in his system, he had caffeine. I mean, you know, like I said, the Cialis, the Viagra, maybe a very small concentration of weed, and actually Delta 9 THC was not even. So the point is, he did have a couple things in his system, but I don't know that he was so drunk that he would have passed out and fell in the pool. I don't know that he did. I don't know that he didn't. But, you know, anybody that's our age that's dealt with anybody that has chronic alcoholism, I mean, you already know they're tolerable. The likelihood of an alcoholic passing out's, you know, probably not very high. Not saying they don't, but with that being said, this is the narrative of some summary circumstances surrounding the death.
Narrative summary of circumstances surrounding death. Okay, so on June 27th, 2025, at approximately 0750, Sevier County Medical Examiner's Office was contacted by the Sevier County Central Dispatch, who was calling to notify SCMEO that officers and detectives were out with a deceased individual at a residence located in Sevierville, Tennessee. Upon arrival, Investigator Westgerds, I guess is how you say his name,
Something.
and Investigator Turpin were met by Lieutenant Roberts and Detective Previtt, both with Sevierville Police Department. Lieutenant Roberts advised that Detective Milron would be the lead for Sevierville Police Department, and Detective Previtt was assisting with scene photography. Lieutenant Roberts advised that the decedent was presumptively identified as Stephen Ray Roberts, date of birth 2/10/64. Wow, he's young. Based on presumptive identification provided by the Tennessee driver's license and the number, and visual located on scene. The following narrative is a summary of the information obtained from scene findings and speaking with Lieutenant Roberts, Detective Previtt, Detective Brantley, Detective Milron, and additional Sevierville Police Department personnel. The decedent was reported to have a past medical history of syncopal episode, hypokalemia, vertigo, chronic alcoholic. The decedent had been living with his girlfriend for approximately 2 to 3 years at the above stated address, according to the decedent's girlfriend. They both went to that local bar that she owns where the decedent became heavily intoxicated. The girlfriend drove the decedent and herself back to the residence at approximately 4:30 to 4:45 a.m. The girlfriend's minor child stated that there was a physical domestic dispute between the decedent and the girlfriend in the early morning hours after their arrival back to the residence. The decedent, at an unknown time, went to shock the pool. The girlfriend's son woke for the day at approximately 7 a.m. and noted that the back door to the house was left open. He located the decedent on the left side of the pool, completely submerged at the floor level of the pool. Central Dispatch was notified at 7:33 by the stepson with Sevierville Fire Department Station 2, Sevier County Ambulance Service, and Sevierville Police Department units, responding to the incident. Upon arrival, Engine 16, the decedent was removed from the water at 7:40 a.m. by fire personnel. A systole was confirmed by Sevier County 13 at 7:55. Death was officially pronounced at 8:30 a.m. by investigator Westgards upon arrival to the scene. The ambient temperature was 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The pool was not heated, and no temperature gauges were located in or around the pool. The decedent's body was clad in tan cargo shorts, brown belt, blue plaid underwear, blue cell phone case with phone 1, slide and fall 45 milligrams, Tattlefill 18 milligrams, chewable blue Chew Max ×2, and a green vape. There was cash, $20 bills, 6 of them, 2 quarters, a dime, a nickel, and 9 pennies, for a total of $120.84. Upon arrival to the scene, the decedent was located to the left side of the pool edge on the concrete in the supine position. 61-year-old, well-nourished Caucasian male that appeared to be his stated age. The decedent was centrally and peripherally warm to the touch. Livor mortis was posteriorly dependent, dark pink in color, easily blanchable with firm pressure and consistent with position found upon arrival to the scene. Rigor mortis was absent to bilateral upper and lower extremities, jaw, and neck. EMS equipment and medical wrapping remained surrounded by the decedent. Corneal clouding was absent bilaterally. Bulbar conjunctive were irritated, red in color, and reddish white.
Something must be his eyes.
Palpable conjunctive were clear, non-edematous, and absent. The irises were blue with pupils centrally fixed and dilated to 4 millimeters approximately. Nares appeared to be of fluid or debris. A red OPA remained placed in the decedent's mouth. Dried fluid was noted in the decedent's mustache and beard, reddish brown in color. Lips were cyanotic and gums were pale. The decedent's orphanix held water upon opening the lower jaw, presumed non-patent. Upon manipulating the interior lip, and a skin disruption with visible blood was noted near the interior frenulum. The decedent's left upper arm had tattoos from the shoulder down to the elbow, and a smaller clock piece tattoo on the inner left forearm. A smaller circular skin disruption was noted to the right wrist. Bilateral hands and fingers had a pruned appearance and were pale in color. fingernails had minimal free nail edge, with fingernail beds pale in color. There was a tattoo to the left upper chest, with the abdomen appearing taut and distended upon palpation. A superficial skin disruption was noted to the left lateral hip region. Pockets were flipped, with contents noted above, and the property evidence form. Bilateral lower extremities were unremarkable. The decedent was placed in the right and left lateral recumbent positions for a posterior examination with no obvious trauma or significant findings observed. The decedent was placed in a body recovery bag with the assistance of Investigator Turpin and Detective Brantley. The right hand was sealed at 8:55 and the left at 8:54 by Investigator Turpin at law enforcement's request for fingernail clippings. Given the circumstances of the decedent located in the bottom of the pool with a prolonged unknown downtime in an open environment, the decedent was placed in a body recovery bag with an identification band placed on the left ankle. The body recovery bag was sealed with seal number, along with an additional identification band. A full autopsy with fingernail clippings and toxicology is requested by Dr. Jerry Bradley, Sevier County Chief Medical Examiner. Photographs of the scene were collected by Investigator Turpin.
Okay, so that was a lot of information. So I just keep thinking about when it was saying that he kept having these passing out episodes. Maybe he did pass out and fall in the pool and end up ultimately drowning. But she just kept talking about that. Another thing that's kind of disturbing is in her notes to the investigator, there wasn't a fight. They weren't an argument, but in two different reports, there was.
And his lip was busted.
Yeah, his lip was busted. So, how did that happen? If there was no fighting or anything like that going on, how in the world did his lip get busted? So, of course, ultimately, people started reaching out to the daughters from the bar, saying things, you know. And we have the text messages about, you know, apparently, and this is not known as true. It's just, like I said, apparently, someone texted and said, "I'd be looking for a lawyer. Something ain't right here." It also said, I don't know who this person is, but Steve, that whoever this person is and Steve were also investigating the money and alcohol theft from all the bartenders. Me and Steve were about to go into business together, and I was going to somewhere it's marked out.
So something else that I find, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but something to note is her son was so adamant about there being a disturbance, like a altercation.
Better yet, you're right. Let's just watch for yourself. Let's watch the
Body cam.
Watch this body cam footage and decide for yourself.
Friend's on the way, but his signal's bad, and I told him not to come here.
Okay, well, listen, I'm okay with that if it helps you right now. So just stand right here. I'm not going to leave you. I'm just going to look at them real quick, make sure they're okay. Just stand right there, okay? This is the son. It's the mom's boyfriend that he located in the back. We tried waking his mom up. She wouldn't acknowledge him, and then she told him she was going to hurt him if he woke her up again. So the mom's in the house somewhere. She knows what's going on. You're going to stay with me, okay? You're okay. Come here. It's okay. Do you need a hug? What do you need?
I don't know.
Come here. It's okay. It's okay. What are you scared of? Mom?
I don't want my mom.
It's okay. Do you have, like, family besides mom? Do you have, like, a brother?
I called my brother.
Your brother. Is he on his way?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that...
Okay.
He's the one that called.
Okay.
And then give you my
Okay.
number.
You're okay. Listen, we got you. We'll take care of you, okay? Just stay with me. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay.
And they sometimes argue, but I didn't.
Listen, everybody argues, okay?
I know.
Everybody argues.
Didn't know that this.
I know.
I've never had to, but
It's okay.
he was the one I.
That's your
he's the
first
oldest.
instinct. Yeah, right?
They've been dating for like 4 or 5 years. Or like 5 years.
What time did you say they got home?
Before I can show you the Life 360.
Were you at home by yourself, honey?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what she's gonna say to me.
It's okay. We're not worried about that right now. You're with me, okay? It's
Can I
okay.
go sit in the car?
You want to sit in my car? Yeah. Come on.
So were you up last night when anybody got home? Were you awake?
I was asleep before that, and then I had my dog Chaos, the bigger one,
Black one? Yeah.
in my room.
Yeah.
And she started barking, so I woke up and I went out there. And I let them in, and I went back to bed because I usually go to the front and let them in.
Yeah.
And I went back to sleep. And so I have a friend that was supposed to come over because we're going to a dog thing event. Because my mom sponsors. Yeah. And so I told him not to come now. But I went out of my room and I was going to get something to eat. And I saw that the back door was open. And I went and I saw the dogs were sitting next to the pool. And there was like a broken shot glass on the ground, like next to the bar. So I walked out there. Just real weirdos, and I see him at the bottom. And I walked back there and went to my mom's room to wake her up. And she wasn't getting up. And then she said, I thought he loved me. And I kept trying to get her up. And then she said, like, I'm gonna hurt you if you don't stop.
Were they when they got home? And what time was that? The story you just told me about. What time was that?
That just happened.
Yeah,
It was around 7.
about 7. When they got home at 3:30, what was going? Could you hear anything?
Is that like 4? No.
Or 4? No. So you didn't hear them arguing or fighting at
I
4.
didn't hear them arguing.
Okay.
But I noticed that when I came out there that the screen door was like messed up. All I did, I kept hearing barking, but it was really faint.
I got you.
But I went back.
You and your mom usually get along pretty well, though? You think she said that just because you're waking her up, she didn't get in before in the morning?
No, she doesn't. She would never say that. I don't know why she would say that. Because before that, she also said, I thought he loved me. So I feel like she did it. I don't really want to see her.
What do you think she did?
I think they might have gotten they probably got into an argument. Because sometimes they'll come home and they'll start arguing. But I think they might have gotten an argument. And then since they were both out here talking about she had a ground him or something, or they got in like a fight.
But none of that you know for sure. You didn't hear anything like that.
I was asleep because I look now, I went to sleep.
I got you. Thank you.
I just don't want to see it.
Well, let's let things play out for a second. Let me talk to her some more because she's obviously pretty upset. She's asking where you are and this sort of stuff too. So,
That's what's going on. Paramedics fire's out back, but we need to probably get with Mom and make sure. So he tried waking his mom up, but she wouldn't wake up, and then he woke her up again, and she said, if you wake me up again, I'm going to hurt you. Mom's in the house. I think she's aware of the situation, but he...
Where's the... Police department! Police department! Police department, if you're in here, make yourself known. Heard.
Alright, go for it. Mom's here. She goes, son.
Clear.
Got two on one on the right.
I'll in there somewhere.
Yeah, dogs are there. Clear.
Heard.
bedroom. I think this bedroom connects. I think this connects somewhere.
Police department!
Police department! Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Hey, get your dog, police department. Get your dog, police department. Police department. Get your dog.
Wake up! It's the police department. Wake up!
It's alright. It's okay. It's okay. Next. Police department. It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
What's going on? Come here, girl.
We need you to get up.
I can't right now because you're in here and I have no underwear on.
Okay, well, wrap the blanket around you and get up out of the bed.
The captain's coming in. Wake up!
It's okay.
Ma'am! Somebody's drowned in your pool. You need to get up. Get up.
And your son's trying to wake you up, and you told him that you were going to hurt him. So get your ass out of that bed.
I was going to hurt nobody.
Well, you need to come on. Get some clothes on.
Get out of the
You
bed.
understand what I just said? Somebody's drowned in your pool.
Who?
I don't know.
Where's some pants out for you, man? Any weapons in here or anything?
No. I have no clue what's going on right now.
So like the captain just said, somebody drowned in your pool.
Nobody's. Who?
That's what we're trying to figure it out. Just put some pants on. It's okay. Okay.
Stop, stop.
You're okay.
It's all right.
Can you see?
Let's just go. I want to see what's going on.
It's okay. We're friendly.
Let's go this way.
I don't care which way this is.
Hang on. Talk to
Do you want some pants first, or?
No, I'm going to get them over there.
Okay.
Stay right here at the table. Captain said not to go out that way.
Hey, captain said not to let her go out that way.
Oh, yeah, it's hanging. Where's your daughter?
Hang on. Let me get a better.
Y'all get with her for a second.
Back. When they arguing or fighting, he was mad at you.
No. Never.
Some of this stuff I have to ask.
I know, but we don't fight. That's what I love about it. We don't fight. That's my rule. We don't bring it home.
Hello?
We don't have it at home.
So you don't even keep it here?
Huh?
We have that over there. That's old. That's a collection glass.
Yeah.
But we don't drink at home. That's my rule. Because I have a son. We don't drink at home.
So now, that's live. That was live at the time. Body cam footage. Not hearsay. You were there. She was very hard to get woke up. So she was drunk. Maybe, who knows? But the dog's barking. The son goes in twice. You could hear it's in the reports. And he says, I tried to wake her up. What was it he said to her? Or she said to him?
I thought he loved me and leave me alone or I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah. So the little boy was scared. He was ready to go. He left with his brother. And I'm not saying anybody's guilty by all means. I'm just saying I find it kind of strange and they told her numerous times, get up. Somebody is in your pool dead. And she's just like, what? And if she was that, out of it, that asleep, could she have been drunk herself? Could she have drove them home drunk? Could maybe they have gotten to a fight or an altercation and her not remember? The
They
son
didn't do any drug test or anything on her, did they?
I don't think so. There's nothing in the report. That's literally in the investigation notes. I was looking back at the email that was sent to the daughter, and that did conclude the investigative notes, and maybe they kept some that they weren't willing to release. But it was the terrible terrible notes. I mean, that's all there was. There was hardly any investigation from the notes. And
So, I have a question. From June 27th of 25, when was the case closed?
I feel like in September. I don't know that to be factual. The daughter, she'll be able to tell us when she joins us, but maybe for the next episode. But yeah, she.
So it wasn't even a very long investigation.
And she'll be able to give more insight and things like that, because she's the one that gave us all this. So obviously she was there. She went through it all. It all just seems really, in my opinion, really suspicious, especially after watching that body cam footage. There is more. I just don't have access to it right now. But I just find it all kind of strange. So yeah, tell us what you think. Tell us what you think is going on. What else do you want to add, Leanne?
Thanks for joining us for True Crime Tuesday.
Babe, wait, I'm scratching my head.
Oh. Thanks for joining us for True Crime Tuesday with the Smoky Signal.
Yeah, and next week, hopefully we'll have the daughter will be available to join us. Then we'll be wrapping things up with Steve Roberts. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have questions, please just put them in the comments. We will get those answered. If we don't know, we will ask the daughter. Anything that we missed, we'll add to next week's episode. I will have some more crime scene photos that I can put up. I will show those so that you guys can see those and just get a feel of what everything looked like in the area. And then it just kind of will all fit together at that point. But thank you for joining us. And as always, be productive, be kind, and do something nice for somebody other. Make fun of them, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.